Hey guys, it's me, Tiara, back with another Glam and Talk. Today we're going to be discussing virginity and should you be proud of being a virgin? Should you? Should you? So yeah, let's get into it. Let's get this glam and let's have a little discussion. I think I'm going to trim them down a little bit, like at the little. I think I'm going to trim them down at the end. I'm going to take this. Just go at like that little hair right there. Okay. I have no eyebrows, so I don't like to take out too much. Like, don't play with me. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. I use this NYX the brow glue crazy lift. This stuff is so good. Like, it doesn't cause like it does. See, when you live in the hood. This topic was prompted by a TikTok I saw. I need to get off TikTok. I need to stop watching TikTok. Like, cause TikTok just be having me like, even though TikTok gives me a lot to talk about, but it just has me like, gets on my nerves. Like, the think pieces on TikTok make me sick. It made me sick. But yeah, what prompted me to talk about this was a TikTok I came across. It was a man, boy, whatever he is. And he was basically talking about how being a virgin is nothing to be proud of. Like, you shouldn't be bragging about being a virgin. Like, if you are a virgin, he was basically saying you shouldn't be proud as a virgin that you abstain from like intimacy or you abstain from like, intercourse or whatever. And then you look in the comments and everybody is agreeing with it. There's people stitching videos agreeing with it. And I came across another TikTok like a couple weeks later of someone who stitched that video, and he was basically saying the opposite. Like, actually, yes, you should be proud if you're a virgin, whatever.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but apparently some of y'all do. You aren't better than anyone else because you don't. If you're a virgin, it's not a bad thing. Good for you. But it's not like a badge of honor that's worth bragging about either. We were all virgins. You aren't special for staying one.
But it is a badge of honor. What? I think we're in this weird transitional period where society is literally boosting up these people who doing OF, these people that's telling these young men and young women to get an S3X work. There are men who literally high five and dap up other men for sleeping with women. There are women who will high five and dap up other women for her sleeping with him and getting money. The past 2 months, I've seen like 2 women come out and say that they're actually refraining from S3X now. They're not virgins, but they're refraining. They've been refraining for years, you know what I'm saying? And people were saying that they should be proud of that. But someone who's refrained their entire life can't be proud in a world where that's not the norm, shouldn't be proud of that? Is that not weird? Is that not weird to say? A person who works out every single day and goes to the gym, they're allowed to brag about them being disciplined. An OF model is allowed to come on here and brag about all the money she's making from doing that content. A man could come on here and brag about how many women he has slept with. A woman can come on here and brag about how many men is paying her money because she's giving him access to her body. A young man or young woman can't come on here and say that nobody's been in them or they ain't been in nobody. They can't feel proud because they can say that nobody's ever cracked them. So just to be clear, it's cool to be proud about all these other things that come with disease, turmoil, trauma, unhappiness, depression, or things that require a lot of discipline, but not that? What?
And I wanted to give my 2 cents on that. I'm not going to disclose my own status on the topic because I feel like it's only my business. Like, at the end of the day, it's my business. And I feel like that's how everybody should operate, whether you're a virgin or not. Like, that's your business. Like, it's no one else's. I don't know if I want to start off with. I think I'm gonna start with bronzer. So yeah, let me give my 2 cents on the topic. In my opinion, and this is gonna offend some people, I noticed that it gets a lot of people bent out of shape. There's literally only one side that becomes hostile about this. But yeah, my opinion basically is, yes, you should be proud. If you are a virgin who, because let's put it in reality, finding someone to do it or whatever is very easy, especially if you're a girl, especially if you're a woman or whatever. It's very easy because men are easy. Men are easy creatures, so it's very easy for you to find somebody to do it. The problem comes if you have standards. Like, if you have standards about who you will allow into your body, who you will allow to touch you in that type of way, then that's when it becomes a problem. Finding a quality partner in general is very hard nowadays. Like, it's very hard. Like, people out here are crazy. People out here are crazy. They're manipulative. They're liars. They're, like, mentally ill. And not to like make fun of the mentally ill, but it's like they're undiagnosed, and they're running around the streets and they're like wreaking havoc on other people's lives. So it's very hard to find like quality people to even want to be around, let alone find a quality person to want to like do that sacred exchange with or whatever. That's how I view it, as a sacred exchange with someone else, like a connection, a deep connection with someone else. And I feel like nowadays, because of hookup culture, is like a huge thing. Like, it's not even just like its own separate culture anymore. It's like a part of our culture, like in general. Like, it just is embedded in it at this point. Like, I don't think it's gonna go away anytime soon. Like, I'm just very realistic about it. Like, I'm a realist. A symbiotic. It's like a symbiotic situation. But because hookup culture is so prevalent in our culture, it's almost expected. Like, you're expected to lose your virginity at a certain time, to like sleep with any and everybody, anyone you find attractive, like just allow that person inside your body or whatever. People like to blame it on human nature. Like, it's human nature. Like, it's normal. It's normal for us to get out there and just do whatever. But in reality, I don't feel like it is normal. And I'm not gonna really touch bases on why exactly, because I feel like that's gonna offend people even more. Even though I really don't care about offending people, but I really don't want to argue about this. I really don't want to argue about this at the moment. Like, this is a topic. This is a topic that's very. It's not something I think about all the time, but I hate when people bring it up and they make it seem like it's just a is what it is type of thing. Like, their opinion matters more, and that's it. Like, their opinion is fact, and that's it. Their opinion that being a virgin is not something to brag about. Being a virgin is not something that you should be proud of yourself about. Especially in the culture that we're in, where everyone is in a situationship. Everyone is hooking up with someone, this person, that person. People are sleeping around left and right. And it's like a whole lot of junk going around, especially in the culture where STDs are at its highest. Like, it's not getting better. I don't know why people are acting like the STD rates are like getting lower. They're like disappearing, because like they're not. They're getting worse. They're getting worse. Even where I live, we just had a surge of HPV and HSV in the area I live in. Do I feel like it's weird to be like one of those people who talk about their like sexual status all the time? Yes, it is. Like, no matter what you are, I don't care if you're a virgin or not. Like, to talk about how many people you sleep with if you're not a virgin all the time, or to like talk about being a virgin all the time, I feel like that's weird in general. I feel like it's weird in general to bring those topics into spaces where no one asked. So yeah, I agree with that point, because a lot of people who have like the argument that being a virgin is not something to be proud of, they also say that. They say like, well, virgins, they like brag, and but I ain't never been in spaces with people like that. I mean, like, maybe they do exist. Like, I don't know. But usually when it comes to like virgins, you wouldn't know. Like, I've been around a lot of people, and I feel like when it comes to being a virgin, you 9 times out of 10, if you meet a virgin, you would never know that that person is a virgin. I feel like it's way more likely for you to know someone's sexual status who isn't a virgin. Like, because like I said, hookup culture, the whole culture around intercourse and stuff is very open in the culture that we live in now, in the world that we live in now. And so people talk about things a lot, and like, you would know that someone is not a virgin before you know that someone is a virgin in today's world. So I don't know where this whole like virgins are running around bragging to people that they're virgins and whatever. Cause I've never seen it. Like, maybe on Twitter, cause they do a lot of talking on Twitter. But in the real world, like you would never. It's not like you can like. It's not like virgins are walking around with like symbols on their heads or on the palms or on their palms or something. Like you would 9 times out of 10 not know that someone is a virgin. You would know someone is not a virgin before you know someone is a virgin. Like that's basically what I'm saying. Now I want to talk about why I believe virgins have the right to be proud of themselves. And I'm not talking about incels or like femcels. Like the people that don't desire to be, like the people that don't actually want to be virgins, basically is what I'm saying. To put it simply, put it plainly. Like the people who don't actually want to be virgins, they just have no real choice to. Like I'm not talking about those people. Those people are way off kilter of what I'm talking about. Talk about the average Jane and Joe who are virgins, who are waiting until marriage, who are waiting until they find their person, who are waiting until a certain age or waiting until like whatever they're waiting for. Like it doesn't really matter. It's not really any of our business. But whatever they choose to wait for, whether it's religious reasons, whether it's not religious reasons, like whether they just want to make sure that they're in a committed relationship, they're in a marriage, they're in a secure environment. I feel like it's not that part is not our business because like there's so many different reasons. I know so many different people who are virgins, whatever, and they have their own reason, and none of the reasons have anything to do with what other people are doing. Most of the reasons are things that they want to control and things like their own personal beliefs, basically. The body, we only get one body in this world. We only get one body in this world. We don't just magically get another body when this one gets sick or this one gets used and abused. We don't magically get another body. Like this is our only body. And it's something that should be protected. I'm so happy that my makeup is not peeling. I'm so happy that my makeup is not peeling right now. It's like I know that glow recipe. I feel like it goes with every primer. Like it looks so good. I'm gonna wait to blend on my nose. I'm gonna do foundation. I have not used this foundation in a long time. I have not used this foundation enough to know if I like it or not. This Milk Hydro Grip Gel Tint, whatever. It's not even a foundation. It's a skin tint. I wanna like just add a little bit of foundation, a little bit of glow too. I feel like this foundation has a glow. But yeah, back to the topic. So yeah, I have no problem with virgins viewing their body. I don't know why other people have this problem, but I don't have a problem with virgins viewing their body as something sacred. And I don't understand why other people have that problem. Like why is it a problem to you that a woman or a man wants to? Well, like, why is it a problem to you that a woman or a man wants to keep their body to themselves until they find that right person? Or I know someone who's a virgin, who's been a virgin for a very long time. They're like they're an older lady or whatever, and she does not plan on losing it. Like she doesn't brag on it. Like it just is what it is. She doesn't plan on like giving it. Doesn't plan on giving her body to anyone. Like it's just the way she wants to live. We have people who've become celibate, and in the whole situation is weird because people will praise people who go on a celibacy journey or like an abstinence journey, whatever. They'll praise those people. They'll praise those people who, like previously, they may have slept around with a lot of people or like participate in hookup culture and all that, and then they decide one day to like not do that anymore. Like they don't want to do it anymore because of whatever reason, whatever their personal reasons are. They decide not to do it anymore. And you have people who praise that. But if you are a virgin, you tell someone like, "Oh, I'm a virgin. I don't really do something like that." It's like a switch flips in their head. Like they're like, "What?" Like I feel like the people who aren't virgins, they make being a virgin a bigger deal than the people who are. Like I said, no one will ever know my status, my sexual status until I disclose it until I choose to disclose it to people, whenever that would be. Like I might make content about it in the future. I might make content about it like in the far, far future. But no one will ever know. Like I'm not about to I won't come out until, like, I may have said it in the previous video. I don't know if I did. I don't know if I can't remember. Like, I be having like dementia. I be having dementia moments. I really don't think I did. So yeah, people would never know until I choose to disclose it, whenever that may be. But yeah, I see no problem with people who are virgins not bragging, but I see no problem with people who are virgins being proud of themselves and saying that they're proud of themselves. Like, I don't know what the big issue is. Like, y'all tell me in the comments if you have like a different opinion on it. Let me know in the comments how you feel. So I want to use this Huda Beauty Strawberry Cream Blush Filter. I haven't used this product that much to know if like I actually really like it. No, I think I liked it before, but I stopped using it and now I don't remember. Like I said, I have dementia moments. Now I don't remember if I liked it. Like, I know I like the color. Like, the color is so cute. But yeah, I feel like, and this might offend some people, but I feel like people who have a problem with virgins are very insecure about themselves. I think a lot of the discourse when it comes to virginity and all that, I think it comes from jealousy. And you might disagree, but I think it does, because there's a reason why people who choose to take the other route and turn their life around and take the celibacy journey gets praised and virgins don't. There's a reason. And I think the biggest reason is jealousy, envy, and shame. I think a lot of the people who criticize virgins or like bring up virgins unprovoked, like the topic, I'm pretty sure he saw no one in his life or no one around bragging about their virginity, but he wanted to make a video about it because he felt some type of way. Or like maybe he encountered someone who wouldn't sleep with him because they're a virgin and he felt some type of way. Like, I don't know. But I feel like a lot of times it comes from jealousy, envy, and shame. Because a lot of these people who participate in hookup culture, they pretend like, oh, I want to put some on my eyes. Oh, that'd be cute. But they pretend like everything is fine and dandy. Like, they just love it. They love being able to sleep with whoever they want, whenever they want. Like, they pretend like they love allowing just complete strangers in their bodies or whatever. They pretend that they're okay with like allowing a person in their body, then that person has no type of feeling for them at all, no type of respect for them really, no type of like consideration for them. They pretend like that's fine and dandy. But in reality, I feel like there's a lot of like subconscious shame from it. There's a lot of subconscious jealousy of others who don't have to like participate in that lifestyle. Like, there's a lot of that, because if you come across a lot of, if you search on YouTube or TikTok, whatever, and if you search on YouTube or TikTok like story times of people losing their virginity for the first time, you will see a lot of like just regret in these story times. A lot of regret. You see a lot of like trying to downplay certain situations, like, oh, my first time wasn't really just a good first time, but I'm glad I did this, or I'm glad I did that. It's like, it's very weird. Like, the whole culture of it is very weird. I feel like it does come from the fact that a lot of people are jealous of people who decided to keep their virginity for whatever their personal reasons are, and a lot of people wish they did. You would even see it in comments sometimes, like people would be like, oh, I wish I kept mine. I wish I was still one, and I wish I gave it to the right person. I wish I would have gave my body to the right person instead of the person I did, because I regret it now. Like, a lot of people regret. I feel like it's not talked about enough. I feel like it's not talked about enough because it's like super taboo to talk about. Like, but I think a lot of people regret losing their virginity whenever they did. And seeing a virgin or seeing someone who did, who decided to like keep their virginity to themselves, the shame starts to show. Like, the shame of it starts to show. They start to feel a little envious, like they wish that they did the same. and they project that out, and they try to villainize virgins basically. And that's why they try to make it seem like purity culture is just like this evil thing, which I don't agree with purity culture either. But at the same time, you might disagree. I feel like people try to make it seem like hookup culture and purity culture are like on the same wavelength, like they're just the antithesis of each other, and they're equal in badness or equal in like the effects they have on people. And I don't think so. Do I think purity culture is 100% good and it's just everything? No. But I think hookup culture does a lot more damage to people than society likes to put on. Way more damage than purity culture. I don't even like to use the same purity culture because I feel like people put everything inside of that same box. Like at first it was about purity culture in church and stuff like that, and like the negative effects it had on like women and like their own like autonomy and like reproduction and stuff, and how purity culture basically prevented women from learning about their own bodies and stuff like that. I understand that part, but then people start adding like things that didn't need to be added into the box of purity culture. Now simply being a virgin and saying that you're proud to be a virgin is inside the box of purity culture, and it's like, does that really make sense? Does that really make sense? Like everybody can be proud of everything else. Like you could even be proud of things that you can't control. Like you could be proud of the skin tone you have, like the race that you were born in, you had no control over. But something that you can control, which is your virginity, you can very much control, like if you're a virgin or not. That's not something to be proud of. Like you could be proud of random things. You could be proud to be born in a family with all doctors. Like maybe your mom, your dad, your grandma, granddad were all doctors, and you're proud of that. You're proud that your family achieved that. You could be proud of that, even though you really didn't have a hand in that. You really didn't have a choice of being born into that family. But you could be proud of that. You could be proud of your parents and what they accomplished. But someone who chooses to abstain and stay a virgin, they can't be proud of their status. They can't be proud to have self-control. And now we're going to segue into the self-control topic. I see a lot of people saying things like, well, being a virgin or staying a virgin is not about self-control. I've saw a lot of comments like that. It's not about self-control. Like, having self-control doesn't mean you're better than other people or whatever. Actually, it does. Like, having self-control does mean that you're better than other people. And this is not me saying that being a virgin means you're better than other people. But having self-control does. Having self-control with binge eating. Like, if you were once a binge eater and now you, like, learn self-control and now you don't binge eat as much and, like, you're dieting and losing weight and all that, like, that's something to be proud of. Like, self-control is not something that you're inherently born with. It's something that you learn, that you have to, like, discipline your body to, or something that you have to discipline your mind to have. There's not a time where I can walk into a store and just grab what I need and leave, like, at all. Like, I have a shopaholic problem. But recently, I've been getting better with it, and I've been, like, controlling my spending and all that. And yes, I'm proud of that. And yes, I should be proud of that, of having that self-control. Like, how are you going to tell me what I should and shouldn't be proud of? Like, yes, I'm proud. Yes, I'm proud that I've learned and trained my mind to have self-control over something. Yes, virgins should be proud of themselves to have the self-control to not fall into their desires. Because, like I said, because like we know, all humans have desires, especially like sexual desires and stuff, especially when you reach a certain age, you get over puberty and all that, all the hormones in your body and stuff. Most humans have like desires and stuff. Being able to tone down those desires and be like, I want to wait until I get married, until someone comes and like wants to marry me. I want to wait until I meet a guy who's like, who respects me. Like, maybe I was in like terrible relationships before, and I want to wait until I meet a guy who respects me and like sees me as a human being. Like, maybe I want to wait until like the right time, the right age. Maybe I want to wait until after I'm done like with my schooling. And it's very weird that people have so much opinion on other people's bodies like that. Like you really care that much about someone being a virgin. But I guess the topic is coming up a little bit more because I guess people are trying to counteract the whole, like, because I've seen a lot of creators come out and, like, denounce hookup culture and stuff like that. And I guess the people who love hookup culture, who, like, are really in it, they're really into that, they, like, don't want things to change, I guess they're doing this to try to counteract that. And it's not really doing what they think it is. It's not really doing what they think it is. I don't know if they're trying to shame virgins into going and losing their virginity or whatever. Because I used to remember a lot of that in high school. Like, I remember I sat next to this girl in math class. Mini story time. I sat next to this girl in math class because I had to redo algebra. I had to redo my 9th grade algebra class. No, it wasn't math class. It was biology. I sat next to this girl in biology class when I was in high school. And we were like lab partners, I guess. Even though I kind of don't want to call it that because I rarely came to school at that point. I was rarely showing up to school, but when I would show up to school, she would be my lab partner. And there was this guy sitting across from us. He was like in a grade younger. And he was like in a grade under us. He was sitting across from us. And I remember, I don't know how their conversation started, but she was like one of those quiet girls. Like, I was quiet too, but she was a little more social than me, but she was quiet at the same time. Like, she was very, like, into, like, the nerdy things. And I'm not saying nerdy things in, like, a negative way. I'm saying, like, she was very into, like, the nerdy things, like the anime and all that. I don't know how they got on this conversation. I don't know how they got on this topic, but she said something about her being a virgin. This is kind of why I don't believe in disclosing your sexual status to anyone, because of this. But for every reason they got on this topic, and I guess he asked, like, is she a virgin or whatever, and she was like, yeah, I'm a virgin. And the way his face morphed, and he started to go in on this girl. Like, he was basically saying, like, I don't know why you're still a virgin, like, no guy is gonna want you. And she was basically telling him, like, I'm a virgin because I'm waiting until marriage or whatever. And he was like, no man is gonna marry a virgin. Like, nobody wants a virgin. And just saying a whole lot. And I was just looking like, for me, it was the first time I ever heard that sentiment. Like, I did not know that's how people, like, viewed virgins at first. Like, before that, I'm like, wow, like, this is crazy. I introverted self basically had to step in and say, like, this is disrespectful. Like, this whole conversation is disrespectful. I feel like it's unnecessary to have, especially in that setting. Like, it was like, what was the reason for this conversation? What was the reason for this conversation? And then I had to pull the girl to the side and basically tell her the same thing I'm saying on this camera, like, be proud of what you're doing. Like, be proud that you had the self-control, because we're in high school. And you know, in high school settings, like, people are wild. People are wild in high school. Like, what happens behind the bleachers, what happens in the stairwells, in the bathrooms and stuff, like, we all know. So being a high schooler and being in that environment where, like, things were just going on left and right, and having the self-control and being that young, as young as she was, and having that mindset, like, I want to wait into marriage, it's very, like, it was a very mature mindset to have. I want to say mature, it was a very just, like, sound mindset to have for someone who her age. A 14-year-old saying that she wants to wait into marriage, like, I feel like that's very sound and stuff. Like, it's very, like, for her age, it was, like, very, like, it was just something unexpected. Usually the virgins that I've met, they have, like, shame with being a virgin. Like, they don't want to talk about it like that because they know how people feel about it. They hide it. They try to make it seem like, they try to downplay it, like, oh, I'm a virgin, but I'm not like religious about it, or I'm not gonna wait into marriage about it. I'm just, like, waiting till I, like, find a boyfriend or whatever. They try to downplay it to try to appease people who are like the guy who made that TikTok video, because they know that you will get tore up from the floor up if you tell someone you're a virgin and you want to wait until marriage. Like, people will, like, literally try to tear down your character. I think people should be proud to have self-control, especially if you're younger, especially if you're in high school. If you're a high school girl, college girl, and you're around that environment, because that environment can be very heavy and peer pressure is a real thing, and you still keep your mind, you're still strong-minded about your beliefs, you still are steadfast in your beliefs and you want to stay a virgin for whatever reason, whatever your own personal reason is, you should be proud. Be proud of yourself. And so in the video, he was basically saying, like, you shouldn't be proud of something as simple as, like, not having sex or whatever. And it's like, it's more than that. It's more than that, because a lot of people have been peer pressured into giving up their virginity. A lot of people have, not even just peer pressure, like pressure by society, like society norms, basically. Like thinking like there are actually people out here who believe that if you're a virgin past the age of 21 or something like that, then you're like a spinster or something like that. Like incel culture has made it worse for the everyday normal virgin also, because now it's put a stigma on people who want to be virgin, especially men. Like I feel like it's way worse for men, because you see it a lot. Like you'll see a man like say like he's a virgin for whatever reason, maybe he's waiting for the right girl, and then you see other men come in and try to tear him down for it. Like, oh, you're a man and you're whatever age and you're still a virgin. Like just basically like down talking. It's like the whole culture of it is very bizarre to me. I don't believe in disclosing your sexual status to anyone, especially if it's not like someone you're married to or like in a committed relationship with. If you're not married to the person or in a committed relationship with them, they have no business what's going on with your body. Like you don't have to tell anyone on the first date that you're a virgin. You have to tell anyone on the second date. You don't have to disclose it before a date. So if you tell your friends, like the people you trust, about it, and they feel some sort of way about it, or they try to down talk you, that's not your friend. Get away from that person. Don't let anyone come in and steal your contentment or your own happiness about like something that you've accomplished. Like that's something that you've accomplished. You have self-control you have self-control in a society where no one really has self-control. Not many people do. Now I want to get more into the topic of shaming virgins out of being virgins. So I know many girls. I know many girls who, when they tell their first time experience or whatever, when they lost their virginity, a lot of it is like a shaming tactic. A lot of it is like you can tell that the person was shamed into it. You could tell that the person was peer pressured into it. I know one girl, she said her friend basically like pressured her into doing it because she did it. The girl's friend was basically like, I lost mine, so I feel like you should lose yours so we both can be on the same little thing, whatever. And it's what it is. And she decided to. She decided to go ahead and sleep with a boy that she knew. Sleep with a boy that she knew in her class in college. All this other person to peer pressure her into doing something that she was not willing to do at the moment. For whatever reason, now she has that experience in her memory forever. Like it's not going to go away. Like that's always going to be the memory of her first time. Like I said, a lot of these people feel shame in themselves. They probably feel shame in the person who they gave their virginity up to. They probably feel stupid, not waiting. Maybe they were peer pressured into doing whatever. Like we don't know. We don't know. Okay, lips. Now the debate is gloss or no gloss. I'm kind of liking the no gloss. I'm going to use this tried and true e.l.f. Sun Boss Gloss. It has SPF in it. In conclusion of all that, I just want to say, if you're a virgin, don't feel shame about being a virgin. If you want to be proud of being a virgin, be proud of being a virgin. If you want to brag about it, do what you want. I don't feel like anyone else should have an opinion on what you brag about. Like, brag about what you want to brag about. Don't be obnoxious about it. Like, it's not that serious. But yeah, if you're a virgin, and you're a virgin because you have self-control and you're waiting for marriage, you're waiting for the right person to come along, whatever your reason is, like it's your own personal reason, I say be proud of that. Be proud of whatever you want to be proud of. Like, people can be proud of a sexual orientation. People can be proud of getting a degree. People can be proud of all the other things. People can be proud of whatever race they come from. If you want to be proud of being a virgin, be proud, girl. Be proud. Like, rap it if you want to rap it. Like, I don't care. Rap it if you want to rap it. And if you're not a virgin and you're proud of not being a virgin, and you aren't ashamed of whatever there is, if you aren't ashamed of like having, if you aren't ashamed of your past sexual partners, you aren't ashamed of the way you lost your virginity, whatever it is, you're very comfortable in your skin, you're very comfortable with your lifestyle, whatever, be proud of that. Like, do what you want to do. Don't go around shaming people who choose the opposite. Just don't go around shaming people who choose to be virgins. Right? That's all there is. Like, so yeah, if you're a virgin and you want to disclose your status, whatever you want to disclose you are, please comment down below your opinion on it. If you're not a virgin, please feel free to comment down your opinion on this topic. I want all the discussion. I want all the opinions. Everything, no shame. This is a safe zone. There will be no shame, no arguing, no whatever. Yeah, comment down below. Subscribe if you feel compelled to. If you want to see more of this face, subscribe. And that's it. I'll see you girls in my next video. See you later. Little game, he said.